Right. Thank you for that, Ginny. Now, those are very lofty objectives, and I'm very soon going to get back to you to understand, what can Couchbase do to actually help our CIOs get to those objectives. But before that, let me quickly, get in Srini for another part of the conversation, and that's one of the most important things that I tabled till the end, because businesses, they ask for the moon and the stars, all right, but then they have this leash around our necks in the name of cost optimization. So TCO is a very central theme of a lot of IT deployments, a lot of projects out there. Srini, if you could share your 2 cents, if you could share some of the best takeaways on how CIOs and CISOs could go about slashing TCO, especially when it comes to a data modernization journey.
That is a very good and very difficult question to answer. So, in my role as both the CIO and CISO, I am very keen to use the right technology and bring in the most amount of automation and AI, and the role as CISO to protect it, but also being part of the management team of the group. Then I'm also very very conscious about our revenue and profitability and what we present to the market as a listed company. So I think those are to a large extent, I will not say conflicting, but they are objectives that need to be balanced, between these. So, looking at ensuring that we are doing what we actually need to do and prioritizing what we have to do. So, from a data standpoint, there are a lot of things that we can do from an analytics standpoint, or there are a lot of other different solutions that we can bring in from an artificial intelligence perspective. So one of the things that we do is to ensure that the projects that we are embarking on makes business sense, and it actually benefits our patients, or it benefits us from a management standpoint in terms of running our business well. So that's one of the prioritizations that we do at the very beginning, to spend money on the right projects. Now, having decided what those right projects are, and then it comes down to choosing the solutions that make the most sense for us. From a solution standpoint, when working with data, performance is important for us. The ability to handle large volumes of data and ensure that there is accuracy, there is scalability in the platforms that we bring in for data management, and
Right.
then the cost, then comes the cost of all of this. So we are always evaluate against options, against different products in the market, and without compromising on what we want to do, not compromising on what we want to do today, as well as not compromising on what we want to do 2 months from now, 2 years from now. We want to ensure that we buy and select the right product, and then that is where the cost factor comes in. So there's quite a lot of thought that goes behind how you select what we want to select and how much we pay for it. And that is one aspect of it. The second aspect is when we work with on the AI side, there are a number of startups in the market. So we look at working together with them. So going to market together with them, investing in some of these solutions, investing in some of these ideas. So we co-develop these solutions on the AI side. So different strategies there, Samik. But to your point, cost is very important, and given the number of solutions in the market, the number of different products in the market, it's a difficult process, and we try to ensure that we buy what we need and that we pay what is the right value for those products.
All right. Nehal, let's hear your points on this. Now, you've got over 2 decades of IT leadership experience. You've also spearheaded global technology in India at the HSBC Bank for close to 13 years. I'm sure you've got a lot of good takeaways for us. So help us understand, what are some of the things that you had done to help you optimize costs, especially when it comes to a data modernization journey?
Right. So yeah, and thanks for the introduction. So definitely, as Srini mentioned, there's always a balance to be struck between what product is required, and as well as have one eye on the rupee that we are spending on it. So I would say the cost per dollar or the benefit per dollar has to be looked into, not just the total value of the product.
Yeah.
As far as my current role is concerned and where I'm working, here deploying or selecting is kind of very straightforward, I would say, very much streamlined, but it takes a lot of time also.
Okay.
So here to cut down or slash the cost, we float an RFP, request for proposal, which has all the documentation around what features we are looking for, of course, based on the prioritizations that we undergo. And it's a management decision approvals that come in. And based on that, we float an RFP. Unless there is only one OEM who's providing that particular product, then
Okay.
RFP doesn't make sense. But if there are multiple players providing the similar kind of product, then RFP is the route through which we procure. And once we get the bids from the OEMs, then there is a reverse auction which also goes under play from between L1, L2, and L3 bidders. So that helps to slash the price drastically.
Okay.
And it's not only the product features that we look into, it's also the sustainability history of the company or experience of that company globally, locally. Being such a big bank, all these aspects also have to be looked into. Their standing in the market, what are the reviews from other customers who may have taken the service also plays a critical role. So all these parameters are measured against the cost. So cost is not the only thing. Cost is one of the most important thing, but these parameters are also taken into consideration while selecting the right OEM and the product.
All right. I'm going to latch on to your last few words, selecting the right OEM. And Ginny, let me throw this to you at this point in time. Tell us what Couchbase brings to the table, and what are the factors that would make companies want to choose Couchbase as one of the OEMs to partner with when it comes to the data modernization journey.
Yeah, thank you. And obviously, just for the record, Couchbase, we don't sell couch and we don't sell base, right? So we are a database company that providing the next generation data platform. So let me take that question in twofold. I love TCO conversation, but I hate it. Love in a way that, it actually aligns with our AI strategy, where we believe this is literally the conversation. We don't believe AI can be cost effective when everything happens in the cloud. It's just not possible, right? But looking at the number of users we have, the interaction, I think I placed that out there. And that's why we believe most of them should happen at the edge. Some still happens in the cloud, then the AI makes sense. And therefore, Couchbase is the only platform on the planet that provide from the cloud all the way to the edge capability. So we're the only one that provide the edge capability on vector search, vector embedding. Okay. Now, coming back to another side of I hate TCO, simply because of the fact that when I'm having conversation, TCO only makes sense when it is a big enough pain for someone to go down to change your car engine. All right. So for all of your existing, even though, oh yes, it is a fancy technology, you can help to, you're faster, you're better in scaling, you never goes down, blah, blah, blah. None of those makes any purchase decisions if it's not big enough pain, especially when you get on the journey, so-called a displace motion, where you have to displace your current technology stack. Moving forward makes perfect sense. If you're building a new app, right, looking at the TCO makes perfect sense. But if you're looking at, re-ramping, all right, TCO is a consideration, but it is not, to both gentlemen's point, it's not the only, it's actually not very important in many cases, because you have a system that's working, right? You have a system that it has a bit of pain, but you probably will do a paint job. You probably will change the steering wheel, but you're never going to change your car engine unless you're going out for a race, all right? That that you're surely not going to win, but otherwise you will do a paint job, put up the dents and all that. So TCO on one hand is a very important aspect, where Couchbase will have the model capability where we are integrated cache, right, with integrated search and a KV operation, NoSQL database with full SQL compliance transaction, right? It sounds all good. It almost sounds too good to be true until, you know, two gentlemen, as you said, right? Let me see it. Let me open the box and see it. So at the end, what I would like to highlight or conclude in the sense that what Couchbase is offering is we've really much focusing on the next generation data platform that help you and your organization to bring your data strategy from, or AI strategy from the cloud all the way to the edge. And we'll provide a real-time data platform that can handle, you know, structured, semi-structured, unstructured data, right? We have all of those, you know, lovely capability. I don't really want to just turn that into a sales, you know, talk, but at the end of the day, what's really important for most of the organization out there is find out what fits you, right? And it is a very interesting time of us where we actually going through another new technology adoption journey, where it's very important for us to actually see it happening. And we are very fortunate as part of that journey and shaping the future. And we will do that together.
Sounds great. Well, those were some great points that you covered off that. Thank you so much for that, JD. So, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of today's session. We talked at length. We covered some fantastic points on the role of data in the modern enterprise, especially we looked at two verticals very closely, the BFSI space as well as healthcare, in addition to a little bit of the auto space as well. We looked at the challenges posed by data sprawls, the impact of data poisoning, data hallucination, how that can be kept to a minimum, and of course, what are the KPIs on data management to gauge your performance in your modernization journey. And of course, the ever important topic of achieving lower TCO and streamlining data management. Great panel here today. We had Nihal Shaw from IDDI, Srini Venugopal from Aster DM Healthcare, and Jeannie Yuan from Couchbase. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you so much for sharing your points today. This is Shomik Ghosh from ETCIO signing off. Have a great day ahead, folks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Shomik.
Thank you.
Thank you.